All right. What do you think the biggest difference was tonight?
Not much. Hunter Shepard was excellent tonight. Subi was really good too, but we probably had better scoring chances tonight than we did in game one, or at least as good of chances. And for whatever reason, we were either didn't execute them or he made some big saves, made some really big saves at probably 4 or 5 big saves at 0-0, as you'd expect an excellent goaltender like he is to do after maybe an off outing. So it was a really good hockey game, and they found a way to get the first goal, and then that dictated it a little bit.
What did you see them doing that was a little bit different from game one?
I think they did. They were really content, making sure they were above us, trying to take away our speed, not give us line rushes. They forechecked hard, but they forechecked hard last game too. They're a good forechecking team, so probably trying to stay above us as much as they can. I don't think we played fast enough tonight in terms of. I don't think our D moved the puck fast enough tonight. I thought our D played a little slow with it. And then they got back above, and they were good in the neutral zone because of that. And we have to be more content to chip the speed at those points. So they did a good job of that. But like I said, I do think we probably created as many good looks as we did the night before, and Shepard made a lot of big saves tonight, especially in the first 30 minutes.
You've only had 3 home games all playoffs. What will getting back home for the next couple games do for your group?
Yeah, it'll be great. Our crowds have been insane. I mean, we sold out on a Wednesday night last week. The next game sold out like 4 days ago, and game 4 is almost sold out already. I mean, it's just amazing. The playoff run last year has kind of reignited our fan base, and then this group, I think because of so much adversity we went through, because of how young we are and how much the team had to grow to get to this spot, I think our fan base has really fallen in love with this team. So our guys have earned that. So it'll be great to get back home to have their support.
You get the split here. Is that sort of, I know coaches and teams sort of talk about, when you're the road team, getting the split is sort of, the mission going in. Is that sort of, I don't want to say mission of success because you dropped tonight, but no?
We wanted to be greedy. We talked about that in Toronto after winning game 1. Yes, that is the adage. And looking at it from a bigger perspective, yes, it's pretty good. This is a hard place to play. They're a really good team. But we talked about it in Toronto. We talked about it tonight. And I thought we did a good job of it tonight. We came out aggressive. You knew they were going to give us everything they had after losing at home. And we came out and had an attacking mindset. But we talked about it in Toronto. We talked about it today. Let's be greedy. Let's not be accepting of just, hey, we got to win on the road. And I thought for the most part we did a good job, and credit to them, and they found a way to beat us.
What are, if any, adjustments are you looking to make as the shifts back home?
Well, that's a good question. I usually I have things in my mind, but the video tells a different story sometimes. So I think it's really important. Our coaching staff has done a good job of that. I have 2 great assistant coaches. So we'll each attack certain areas of the game over the next, 24 hours, 12 hours, whatever that is. Our staff will meet tomorrow. We'll come up with what tweaks we need to make.
What did you, sorry.
Sort of had a nice little win streak. I know that it doesn't really matter in the playoffs, but are you sort of concerned with the one loss that things could revert?
No.
Nope.
We didn't even talk about the win streak. We talked about winning 1 game. And I don't think we won 7 in a row. Really, at this time of the year, we won 1 game 7 different times. Because at playoff time, it's play a game, reset, learn a little bit, adjust a little bit, play another game. So we didn't even look at it as a winning streak. We just looked at it as the next game. And so I think we won 1 game 7 different times. So this game we'll learn from, and then we'll move forward.
What did you think about Savoy?
I loved him. Yeah, I mean it's a hard first game in pro hockey, right? It's you're playing the top team in the Eastern Conference in a hard building against a big, heavy, old team, and I thought he did a really good job. And I think he'll just get better as the series goes on.
Kevin, go ahead.
I'm not going to say that, officiating was a major factor, but, there was a call that could have been made on Davies on a high stick, and then 20 seconds later he gets called for a trip, and they score on the power play, and it's 1-0 the other way.
I thought the officiating was very good tonight. There's always calls. There is, but they're humans, and they're going to make some mistakes as well. At the end of the day, I think there are 2 very good referees in our league. And I thought they did a really good job and had a good composure and handled the game pretty good tonight, I thought.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Dan.
Coach, you think your team needs to step up, maybe physically match their tone? I know that they would be a desperate team. I know you guys aren't a massively physical team, but do you guys think that you matched their physicality tonight?
I don't think we need to match their physicality. They're built differently than we are. What we need to do is not back down from their physicality, and I don't think we have at all in 2 games. I think this game against this caliber of team and how heavy they are and how hard they forecheck, if we played this same game after winning game 1 in December, I think we lose 5-1, 5-0 tonight. We've matured. We know how to handle a physical game. We weren't as good offensively as I'd like us to be tonight. Some of that's credit to your opponent. But I thought we handled the physical part of the game very well tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Seth, you just mentioned before, the importance of playing fast and how you guys didn't do that as much tonight. And I'm just curious, from your perspective, how do you as a coach, work to try to get them to fix that? Like, what's the way you try to patch up that part of the ship?
Usually in the season, it's practice, small ice games, forcing them into chaos. I think a big part of getting better in practice is putting them in chaos, and whether it's drills or small ice games, putting them in chaos where they have to solve problems with their mind, not just with their feet. But in a series like this where you're playing every other day, that's not going to be the case. And those things are pretty ingrained in us. We're pretty good at it tonight. We just didn't move it quite good enough. I think the ice conditions had a little bit to do with it. The ice conditions were really poor tonight. So there was just an extra second of trying to settle pucks down before making that next decision. And it just made us play a bit slower. We didn't play dramatically slow, just slower than we'd like to. And then that allowed them to get above us and take away a lot of our speed.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.